fellow travelers, Mark here with Wolters World, and today we're here in Miami, and today we're going to talk about what you should eat when you come here to Miami, because there are so many options when you're here. It's not just a Cuban sandwich and some key lime pie. No. There's way more to have when you're here, and I think one of the really important things to have when you do come to Miami is stone crab, okay? And Joe's Stone Crab on Miami Beach is probably the most famous place to have it, but you can have a lot of places throughout the city, and it's a special kind of crab, and the claws, oh, it's fantastic. Like, they'll cook it for you, but then they chill it, so when you get it, you pull it out. Oh, the dip they have with it, it's so good. But stone crab really is a thing here in Miami that you should have. And honestly, I gotta tell you, seafood in general, I mean, the ocean's right there. I mean, you will have tons of great seafood and a lot of great seafood options when you are here. Probably the biggest fishes you'll see, red snapper, mahi-mahi, like those will be good no matter what. One thing you will see sometimes is a fish sandwich, which sounds silly saying, Mark, a fish sandwich? How is that something special? Well, here it is. And whether you get it blackened or you get it grilled or you get it fried, a fish sandwich will be a good option for you, okay? But when people think of coming to Miami, they don't think about eating seafood. They think about eating Cuban food, eating Caribbean food, eating Latin American food, because this is kind of the hub of a lot of Latin American cultures and Caribbean cultures in the US. So you get incredible food options, okay? Whether you want to have Haitian food or Cuban food, Puerto Rican food, Brazilian, Argentine, Colombian. There's so much great food when you are here. So I think one we have to start with is actually Cuban food. I mean, Cuban food, because there's so much immigration from Cuba here, the food is all over the city. Yes, you can go to Little Havana and have great Cuban food, but you can go at Brickell, you could go to Midtown. There's all kinds of great places to have great Cuban food. So don't limit yourself where you go have it, because it's so all over the place and so good. Like, some of my favorite things to have, one is ropa vieja, which is kind of like a beef stew. There's vaca frita, which is like a fried cow, actually. That's good. You'll see yuca pop up a lot in Cuban food as a replacement for like potatoes, and so that's really nice. But the bread, oh my God, Cuban bread, when you go there, make sure you get the bread bowl and just eat away, because it's so good. And I think one of the important things you have to have that's with Cuban bread is obviously a Cuban sandwich. I mean, that is a famous thing from here, and it's really great. And what it is, it's Cuban bread, which is a little bit sweet, and you've got ham, pulled pork, Swiss cheese, pickle, and mustard on it. It is a fantastic sandwich to have. There's tons of places that offer it all over the city, but yeah, that's a definite thing you need to have when you're here, a Cuban sandwich, not just Cuban food. Now, going on to some of the other Latin American foods you can have in here, and Caribbean foods. And the thing is, like I said, it's not just Cuban food. You have really great food from all over the Caribbean and Latin America. So if you want a churrasco, the steaks from Argentina and Brazil, you can do that. You want to have a Brazilian feijoada, the bean stew from Brazil, you can have that. You want to have the Puerto Rican national dish, mofongo, which is fried plantains smashed up, and then they have like either a seafood stew with it or chicken or beef with it. You can have that. There's so many great things here. Whether you're just having croquetas, which are, it's like, for me, it's mashed potatoes and ham, like made into like a finger and then fried. Oh, it's so good. Arepas, which is kind of like it's a cornmeal pancakey kind of thing. You could have that. But for me, empanadas are probably the one thing you have to have, whether it's Cuban empanadas, Colombian empanadas, I mean, Chilean empanadas. There's so many great empanadas you can have around for like on-the-go snacks. So there's just tons and tons of really fantastic Latin American food and Caribbean food here that you're going to have more options than just Cuban. So go and try as many as you can. You're welcome. I mean, we had Peruvian food the other day, and I had some of the best lomo saltado I've had in years. So do enjoy it when you are here. You will eat really well. And the thing is, you can eat really well all over the city. There's tons of neighborhoods for you to go see. Yes, Little Havana is famous for the Cuban food because it's Little Havana, but you can go to Brickell, you can go to Midtown, you can go to Coral Gables. There's fantastic restaurants and a variety of restaurants. If you don't want Latin American food, there's plenty of Asian cuisine, there's plenty of Italian cuisine, there's plenty of American cuisine. You want that big breakfast of pancakes like American style, you can do that when you're here. You want healthy food? My goodness, the fruits, the juices, the vegan options that are here. I mean, one of the best vegan restaurants in the world is actually here in Miami you can go to. I mean, you have lots of healthy options too, which is really cool. And not as healthier options. There's lots of bakeries you can go to and pick up stuff to snack on. So definitely hit up a bakery when you're here to get some treats. And the thing is, when you're going around Miami, you're gonna see is we are still in Florida. It's not just Miami. You have some of the Florida influences too. So sometimes you might see alligator bites. Yeah, alligator, like basically like an alligator nugget, pop up on the menu sometimes, usually for an appetizer. Basically, if you're not sure what alligator tastes like, it's kind of like, tastes like chicken, but has the the consistency of like a whitefish, you know, to give you an idea of the texture versus the flavor. It's worth trying at least once, so you can have that. Obviously, like I said before, if you're going for dessert, key lime pie. This is the go-to thing here in South Florida. You got to have key lime pie. It's fantastic, okay? But then, of course, some people are like, well, what else do I do? Well, coffee's super popular here, so have your, you know, cafe con leche, your you know, or however you take your coffee. You have plenty of options just to sit outside and take in the beautiful views, take in the very beautiful people when you're here, and enjoy, because there's just so much really good food when you're here. But one thing I need to tell you is when you come and eat in Miami, I got to warn you, first off, service is slow. Like, it's always slow. Like, just be ready for that. Have that kind of planned in your timing, so then you know that, okay, if I only have an hour to eat, I need to order quicker. I need to get there sooner. I need to, like, let people know, because service will be a bit slow when you're here. Don't expect to be super, that over-the-top American stuff that people sometimes get a little like, okay, it's a little too friendly. You don't have to worry about that too much when you're here. There'll be, you know, you'll get your food, but it'll take some time. So just be prepared for that. Also, tipping here, I will tell you, when you get your bill, make sure you look and see if the gratuity is already included, because some places already put the tip on, and you don't want to double tip. I mean, yeah, I'm sure the server will be happy for you to double tip, but you got to be careful with that, because that's happened to us a few times when we've been here. Also, if you're going out to drink and you see like specials, because there'll be a lot of drink specials to entice people to come into a bar, to come into a club, and then you go to buy it and they kind of talk you into trying something else that's a lot more expensive. Always look at the menu here. Don't just order stuff. Just say, hey, can I see the menu with the prices, so you're not surprised. Because going out to eat here isn't a cheap experience, so you want to be kind of prepared for it wallet-wise as well. But the thing is when we've come here and we've eaten here, we've always enjoyed it. Like, the food is amazing. I had a chicken and quinoa, like, healthy option last night, and it was just incredible. So you're gonna have a great time eating here in Miami. So if you're gonna be heading to South Beach, or you're gonna be going to Brickell to go to the eating there, or Coral Gables to shop and eat, or wherever, I hope you have a fun time, and I know you're gonna eat well, because Miami is a great place to eat. All right, so I'll say bye from here in Florida.